Hello everyone and welcome. It's Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. I hope you're all doing fantastically well today. Very quick one here. So Coinbase, there's a bit of news here on two fronts actually. I'm going to cover this Zabo partnership very briefly, and then we'll go on to Vechain because there's been quite a lot of rumours out there recently on various social platforms, things like Reddit as well, where people have anticipated that Vechain was going to launch on Coinbase today. Now, that might still happen. We've still got a few hours left of the day, I'm sure. And it may not be today, it may be in the next couple of days, it may be next month, who knows. But we'll go into that point in a minute. But very quickly, let's go through this one here. So Coinbase obviously very recently put on the stock exchanges of NASDAQ, as I'm sure you're aware. So they've done a little post recently about acquiring Zebo. Now Zebo are basically essentially a company that provide the ability to show customers their portfolio in a more efficient and simple way. I'm a bit confused in the sense of why they purchased them, because it's really a software, like I've said, that gives a bird's eye view of overall portfolio. Now, Coinbase, when I was originally using Coinbase last year, I always found like actually the portfolio aspect was quite good. And then when I moved over to things like Binance and KuCoin, I found them quite confusing, albeit now that I'm very much up to date with it and get on with it really well. And actually now I find Coinbase a bit irritating. So I can kind of understand why they partially done it, but I did wonder why that was one of them like major priority partnerships. But I'm not the owner of Coinbase. I'm not the operational manager or anything like that. So what do I know? But it's interesting to see what they're going to do with this and how the app may develop over the next few months or year, and see what occurs in terms of the user experience via the app and online as well. So let's keep an eye on that. If I do see any developments with the app or see any changes, I will let you guys know as always, and we'll maybe do a little review of Coinbase as well. And I'm sure we'll do one of the other exchanges as well. There's loads of videos out, by the way, of like how to use exchanges and what exchanges are what. But I'll do it from my take. Hopefully you might find it interesting or different to what everyone else has said. I'll just do it literally from my perspective and Steve's perspective as well. As we've actually got between us quite a few exchanges and we use different ones and we all have different experiences and thoughts about each one. So maybe we'll do a kind of like a battle between us two and see which one becomes the ultimate one. Let's see. Let's do that video. It sounds awesome. The other point I had here was about Vechain. So I just mentioned earlier, there's been a load of rumours, a load of messages, pretty much a meltdown on social media saying that Vechain was going to add to Coinbase today. As of yet, I haven't seen it being added. That's not to say it won't be. It's not to say these rumours aren't true. But I just wanted to bring a couple of points here, just from the research that I've done today, or certainly in the last 10 minutes. I say today, it's actually 10 minutes. But there's been no real sort of price influx in Vechain. And what you usually see just before a token has been announced or about to be done, you kind of get the insider info and you see the big spikes. Ignore this big V here. This is predominantly around market attraction anyway, just from what we saw with Bitcoin over the last week or so. That will just traditionally get passed on to the other assets, and we see that pretty much in most of the crypto assets. You see this shape. So don't pay attention to too much about this being related to Coinbase or anything. I think that's just a natural progression, as we've seen, as I've mentioned, across other assets as well. So I'm looking around here in the last couple of days. I haven't really seen a big enough movement to suggest that something big's about to happen with Vechain, and certainly not from a market influx or anything like that in particular. Volumes, of course, are pretty standard, and the RSI is pretty level in the midpoint as well. I think we're on the 50 odd mark, so there's still a bit of movement to go in terms of market penetration. But I'm more interested in, as I say, buy the rumour, sell the news, and I haven't seen enough here to say that actually this is something that goes with Coinbase. I think there were a couple of additions to Coinbase quite recently with other tokens, and I didn't really see much massive movement on those either. I think now more and more people are getting aware of the different exchanges that are available. It's not as exciting as it was a while back, where it's going to go on this exchange, the price is going to go up, etc. I think these have been on. Vechain's been on many mainstream accounts for a long time. One of the reasons why I left Coinbase actually originally back in December was because they didn't at the time have like ADA Vechain and a couple of other ones as well. And I was getting really frustrated, and I was like, right, well, nothing's stopping me getting other exchanges. You don't have to be emotionally attached to assets or exchanges. Like, this isn't a sports team or anything. It's just your preference and what you need to do. Have 2, 3 exchanges. What does it really matter? It's obviously something else you have to think about with passwords and things. But for me, like I said, I literally just use the exchanges to not necessarily trade, but certainly to buy all these assets and accumulate. And then I just move them as I can to native wallets and ledger wallets, as we've done a couple of videos recently on that. One thing as well to point out is I have a feeling there might be a bit of confusion with a lot of people out there saying Vechain is going Coinbase. It could be related to PlayDApp. So I believe PlayDApp has been added to Coinbase today, or certainly about to be. That again, I'll have to double confirm that. But PLA is also the name of a token that's owned by Vechain, which is standing for Player. I do actually have a lot of Player tokens in my asset portfolio, because I believe there's traction here in the future for Vechain to utilize this. It's almost like a preparation for them. It's a big ecosystem around gaming, which is what I absolutely love. They haven't done too much activity recently. They're very slow on social media, etc., in my opinion. But I'm just holding it. I will probably keep adding it to it every month, because it's so low priced, and I have, if it goes ahead, not all projects go ahead, some fall apart. If it goes ahead, it will be a fantastic project, in my opinion. But going back to the point, I think there might have been a bit of confusion, because they are the same sort of token name on the exchanges. And we have seen a massive expansion here of 74% as of right now, as doing this video. But even in the last sort of few days leading up to it, there has been quite a phenomenal big spike. So I will go into a bit more detail about this project in particular, maybe next week. It's not high on my priority list personally, but these guys are doing a good job, and there's clearly been some kind of activity or mismatch of confusion of this token being launched and being confused with Player, which is ultimately linked to Vechain. So that's where I think it is. Obviously, I'd like to see Vechain get added to more exchanges. It opens it up. Some people are restricted to various exchanges, or perhaps just purely like one and will wait. I wasn't happy to wait, as I mentioned personally, for these tokens to be arriving. I didn't know how long it was going to take, and in this kind of market, you obviously don't want to miss the great opportunities. Like ADA, I was buying at like 10 cents or something stupid back in the beginning of the year, and of course the expansion of that is fantastic in recent months, and I would have missed out on that if I had the mentality of, oh, I'll wait till it comes on Coinbase. So it's all personal preference. Do your own research, of course. None of this is financial advice, but I just thought I'd bring these little points together. Hope you found them relatively interesting. Keep an eye on Vechain anyway, and all the news that comes about with them, with exchange listings. The more the merrier, in my opinion. And do check out Player as well. See what you think about it. I'd be interested to know in the comments below if you are invested in Player, or if it's something that you've heard of before, something of interest. But I will probably do a video on these guys. It's actually one I found on the channel Blockchain Andy. Go check him out. He's a really cool channel, finds loads of gems. And I just, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I absolutely love gaming and things like that. That's why I got interested in it. But yeah, obviously dApps is an absolutely huge market potential in crypto and blockchain at the moment. So I'll actually probably do a video on this, especially as it's launched on other exchanges now, and maybe bring to light why we've seen such increases in this in the last few days, with exception of the exchange listing as well. So hope you found this video relatively interesting. Please do like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. We are zooming towards 500. I'm absolutely amazed by this. At least it shows maybe some of you are interested in what we're doing, and hopefully we are appeasing you guys with knowledge and information. And please do let us know in the comments below anything and everything about crypto, what your thoughts are on anything, and any projects you want us to cover, because that's what this channel is about. It's about building the community, being as engaging as possible. And when we get to that 1,000 level, I promise we will start to do live streams as well, get you guys involved on live chats, quick Q&As and things like that. And we will try and get some special guests from various projects in as well as we hit that mark. As you can imagine, on this kind of mark of 200-300 people, companies just ignore us. So hopefully we get to 1,000 and people might start paying attention. Who knows? But doesn't matter. It's not about fame and glory. It's about being connected with you guys. That's what we love the most. So hope you found this informative. We hope to see you and Vechain on the moon very soon. That rhymes. Take care. Vechain to the moon!